Our guest today is one of foremost martial art experts, a specialist in the Northeast, Calvin Chin. He will be one of the presenters and trainer at upcoming Health Expo on March 5th at Burlington Marriott. We are going to talk to him about Tai Chi and what he is going to teach us during the workshop. Calvin, welcome to our studio.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And it's a pleasure to talk to you. So for those of us who are not very much familiar with Tai Chi.
Tai Chi.
Tai Chi, okay, Tai Chi. Okay. See, I'm making that mistake there. So if you can just explain a little bit what Tai Chi is.
Okay, Tai Chi is an ancient exercise that was developed, hundreds or thousands of years ago, and it's brought into the mainstream now, and a lot of people recognize it as some type of exercise. There's some mysticism behind it because it's from one of the ancient martial arts, but I think today people need to understand more about it, get more information about it. So my approach is try to take the mysticism out of it and bring in some of the science and why Tai Chi works. So I talk about being age-related degeneration prevention. So the concept of Tai Chi is actually based on certain principles, and these principles are the guidelines for the movement. And the whole premise of it is actually based on the idea of yin and yang. So yin and yang is the idea of balance. So the human body needs to move and operate in a balanced way. So when we have movement, a lot of people don't realize or understand how the body learns to move or functions in movement. So in balance, we have to have both active and passive motions. So in the concept of training and practice, we try to bring that into the body movement, and by so doing, we get our body to move without resistance, much more natural, and ultimately creating natural movement that you can use daily.
So is it more physical or?
Actually, it's not like an aerobic type exercise where your heart rate goes up. In fact, when you do Tai Chi, your heart rate will actually stay steady or go down because the movements don't require a lot of physical strength. And most people exercising today want to build, depending on what their goals are, is to build strength and tension in the body. In Tai Chi, we try to avoid tension and resistance of the muscle.
So is it you can give us just one example in a sitting position of Tai Chi, some movement?
Okay, so say for instance, when the right and left sides work together, if we do movements that are like this, that's in tandem. But a lot of times when people first see that, because visually they see the hands moving, so the first thing someone just thinking that that's a motion pushing forward, they would kind of overreach or overextend. Whereas in reality, when you move the body, it's a cycle. It's a sequence of events created by a program that's actually developed in the brain, the mind, so that you develop the neuromuscular connections, and there's a motor skill involved. Deals with proprioception and controlling and regulating speed and how the movement is created. So there's it's a gentle movement. We talk about relaxation a lot of times in meditation or in stress relief. Well, it's actually releasing tension in the joints. When you release tension in the joints, then the musculature will release.
So what are some of the basic health benefits of Tai Chi?
Because the human body needs to move. So the key thing is to get good circulation. So we all talk about circulation of energy. And so what is circulation of energy? It's circulating fluids in the body, getting oxygen to the cells, nutrients to the cells. So when you create good movement, total movement, then you're going to get circulation that covers the whole body. Now, if you have isolated movement or tension on one side, there's going to be imbalance. So through movement and control and learning sequences and different postures, you learn to regulate that. But a posture is not static. Our postures are fluid and in movement. So the transitional side of movement is actually what a motor skill is. So that's kinesthesia, moving in space using your sensory system. So the combination of proprioception and kinesthesia allows a person to actually move fluidly and efficiently, and and on the side of efficiency, you don't waste energy.
What about what it has to do with the aging of the body? I know everybody is concerned about that,
Right.
and how it can help. Or
Well, age-related degeneration is a natural course, and part of that is because people become inactive, and inactivity causes your system to think it doesn't need to move, so it starts to disconnect. And the brain does the same thing. It'll start to prune out things that it thinks it doesn't need to do any longer. Today, a lot of people are less active than they used to be. We don't, work physically like we used to, so the body is not as fit unless you exercise. And then as far as movement, coordination, balance, you start to lose that because, our coordination diminishes, integration body diminishes. Now, if you were physical when you were young and somewhat coordinated or played sports, you probably have some of that you can draw off of. But if you weren't physical and you haven't been active and you start to lose some of these mechanisms, what ends up happening is you don't really understand how to regain it or why it's happening. So through Tai Chi, and I think actually age-related degeneration should start younger. I work with senior citizens, and that's anyone that's over 55. 65 is what that's retirement. But I think that's a little bit late to start something that's involving integrated motion and age prevention. So actually, starting maybe in the late 40s to build, because it does take time to build motor skill and get your system to work efficiently.
and how much time is required for, like say, if I want to do Tai Chi exercise every day?
The Tai Chi Paradigm is which is a specific set of exercise designed to work space, pattern, integration, movement. That takes about 30 minutes.
Right.
Now, you don't have to do all of those exercises in one setting. You could break it up, and as long as you're working your body, it's better to work a bit each day than to work maybe once a week or once a month. Your body will never learn it, because we're creatures of habit. We have to do it over and over again. And the body eventually programs it into your system, and your movements will become very efficient.
And this is the Tai Chi Paradigm you'll be talking at the Health Expo.
Yes, I'll be work with the Tai Chi Paradigm. Any questions, how it works, what people need, and the deficiencies that a lot of people don't realize. But that's something that it heightens your awareness. Like meditation, it's being in the moment. So when we do movements in form or in sequence of posturing, whether it's standing or moving, you have to be engaged both mentally and consciously. So that's very important for the.
So as you were talking about Tai Chi and you were explaining, in my back of my mind, was going yoga and meditation.
Uh-huh.
So is there any connection, any similarity between these two?
Well, all of the ancient arts work with postures, positioning, and tying it together with breath and movement. Yoga does that, Tai Chi does that, Kung Fu does that, because our bodies are all the same systems. We have limbs, we have appendages, we have a torso, we have the organs that all work together. And all of our goals are actually to build awareness and heighten how our body should be in motion. Yoga does, some of the traditional yogas probably have more of this concept than some of the modern, because on the modern side it's maybe more physical. But the older arts always worked from what their beliefs are, and it really has to do with that mind-body connection.
Excellent. Now tell us a little bit about your academy.
My academy was established 21 years ago. I actually opened it as a mission to preserve traditional martial arts. Like any art, it has its lifespan unless someone continues it. So I've continued the legacy of my teacher, whose legacy continues from generations in the past. So, like classical music, it's something that has classical form, which is passed down from generation to generation. That's something I preserve, but I've taken it, because I've been doing this for over 50 years, I've had different objectives and goals, and, this stage in life, my goal is to show the value and the importance and understanding of what martial arts, Tai Chi in this is specific to the Touchy Paradigm, and it's more of a condensed approach, and it's more streamlined so you can get the benefits quicker. But so that's that mission, and then teaching children is something that we do because the children are the future. They actually will house more of the form movements, and we've been very successful in both doing that with children and across the board from 5 to probably 80 something. I have a woman that's almost 90 that's still doing it. So.
In how many locations do you teach here?
I only have one location, but I do some satellite, a few places. Belmont Council on Aging, at the Beach Street in Belmont, and actually Wellesley College. I have a couple of courses there. That's one's on Tai Chi and one's on Kung Fu.
Excellent. Kelvin, we're looking forward to seeing you on March 5th at the Health Expo.
Yes. Yeah.
And
I'm
looking forward to
excited.
learning from your show.
I'm excited to be part of this.
Excellent. Great.
And hope many of the people that come will join in.